Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? This is Pre, aka Darth Hater here, and I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just overwhelmed. Like, oh my god. Like, dude, okay. I'm just reacting to this now because I was out today and I got a million messages on my phone just like, dude, did you see all the stuff that's dropping? I finally just got home and apparently Lucasfilm dropped the announcements of a bunch of projects, and it's all at once. So yeah, I'm gonna read this from the main website. So apparently Disney and Lucasfilm had their investors meeting today, and they dropped all they basically dropped all future upcoming projects like Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, other Disney properties. But we're gonna focus obviously on the Star Wars side of things because this is just mind-blowing. I missed the live stream. I'm probably gonna watch that after this. But apparently there are some sizzle reels, so I'm gonna have reactions to those a little later. But let's just go onto the main Star Wars website, and we're gonna go through and see what they say. Future Lucasfilm projects revealed. Today at the Walt Disney Company's Investor Event Day, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy announced a staggering number of new film series and surprises that will expand the Star Wars galaxy like never before. Never before. Okay, first up we have here Rogue Squadron is getting a freaking movie. Wow. Rogue Squad, oh my god. I played that game religiously for Nintendo 64 back in the day. Okay, let's read this. The next Star Wars feature film will be Rogue Squadron, directed by Patty Jenkins of Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins, okay. Alright. I like this. I like what she did with Wonder Woman. The story will introduce a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings and risk their lives in the boundary-pushing, high-speed thrill ride and move the saga into a future era of Star Wars. Yes! Ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm, it's been one of my main things. I've always wanted to see, they've been doing different types of movies. They had Rogue One, the war movie, that Solo, the heist movie. I wanted to see a starfight, kind of like a Top Gun type movie with starfighters. I mean, they just gave us the game, the Starfighter game, but I would have much preferred a movie, and now we're getting it. What else does it say? It's been a lifelong dream as a filmmaker to one day make a great fighter pilot film. As a daughter of a great fighter pilot myself, some of the best memories of my life of seeing my father's squadron take off in their F4s every morning and hearing the feeling and awe-inspiring power and grace. When he passed away in service to his country, it ignited a burning desire to one day channel all these emotions into one great film. When the perfect story arrived in the combination with the true love of mine and incomparable world of Star Wars, I knew I finally found my next film. I'm extremely honored and excited to take it on. Grateful to Lucasfilm, Disney, and the fans for their extending that thrill to me. Yes, I'm excited for this one. This one is so far on the top of my list. I'm glad I'm having my Rebel pilot made because I am gonna be there. I'm gonna be there going bananas and crazy when this movie first comes out. Lock S-foils in attack positions. It is a sizzle thing. Like I said, we're gonna react. I'm gonna have some more videos about the sizzle reels and everything after this, so stay tuned for that. Untitled Taika Waititi film. Brand new Star Wars feature which acclaimed filmmaker and award winner Taika Waititi is in development. Taika's approach to Star Wars will be fresh, unexpected, and unique, said Kennedy. His enormous talent and sense of humor will ensure that audiences are in for an unforgettable ride. Yes, they had been talking about that he was going to do a film for a while. Actually, they've been talking about a lot of people doing, or that are going to be doing Star Wars films. So I'm interested to see what he does. The only thing I've ever seen from him outside, besides the Mandalorian episode, was obviously Thor Ragnarok, which I love, which was extremely funny. So I'm interested to see what he does in the Star Wars universe. And what else do we have here? Star Wars Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like how the eye on Kenobi is actually his lightsaber. Last August at D23 Expo, Lucasfilm announced the return of Ewan McGregor in the iconic role of Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi for a special event series on Disney Plus, officially titled Obi-Wan Kenobi. The series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where he faced his greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker turned evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. That's me. The series is directed by Deborah Chow, who helmed memorable episodes of Mandalorian Season 1. It will truly be a day long remembered, as it was confirmed that Hayden Christensen will be returning as Darth freaking Vader. He's gonna be back as Darth Vader. Not Anakin Skywalker, but Darth Vader. This will be the rematch of the century. So they're gonna have them fight? Okay. It was such an incredible journey playing Anakin Skywalker, said Christensen. Of course, Anakin and Obi-Wan weren't on the greatest of terms when we last saw them. It will be interesting to see what an amazing director like Deborah Chow has in store for us all. I'm excited to work again with Ewan. It feels great to be back. Now, this was like what I first saw when my phone was blowing up today. I lost my mind when I heard this. Okay, so before there had been rumblings around from a lot of people and a lot of sources and a few people I know that he was coming back and that Darth Vader was obviously going to be a part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi film. But it's just so good to hear it confirmed and to have Hayden Christensen back, in the suit, which is what we all wanted to see. I mean, we had Darth Vader back in Rogue One, but that wasn't Hayden, or it was I can't remember the actor's name, but he did a good job, and I would have hoped to see Hayden. I mean, they had that little tiny snippet in Rogue One where you see Vader in the back of the tank, where he doesn't have his arms or legs, off. But that was like a body cast. That was like a body double, just sitting in the background of Hayden. And I'm like, it would have been nice even just to have him cameo as, Darth Vader. This is gonna be so cool. I have so many thoughts, questions, theories, predictions about how this is gonna go. And it's 6 episodes, which is fine. Okay, and Ahsoka is getting a TV show. That logo looks pretty cool. Looks very world between worlds. Anyway, Ahsoka, after making her long-awaited live-action debut in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano's story, written by Dave Filoni, will continue in a limited series run starring Rosario Dawson and executive produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Okay. Yes. So I've long heard there were going to be a show, a Rebels, Star Wars Rebels TV show, and I'm thinking that this is what it's going to be. It's going to be Ahsoka, and they're going to have maybe the Rebels cast in there, Sabine and or Ezra, if and when we ever get to him. And also Thrawn, because, that name drop in The Mandalorian, Thrawn, I doubt that they were gonna introduce him in The Mandalorian, but they basically set it up for when, they have the series, and I feel like he might be a main antagonist, but that is gonna be an amazing series. I loved Rosario Dawson's portrayal of Ahsoka Tano. It was everything I would hoped it would have been. For a live action, and then also fans we basically fan casted her years ago, and then look what happened, boom, a few years later and she's Ahsoka Tano. So our voices are heard, and this is nice to see her taking the reins. I love what Ashley Eckstein did, and I would love to see her still be a part of everything coming up new with Ahsoka Tano. I guess animation wise, But I guess live action, just Rosario Dawson like takes the cake with this. So, and next here we have Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic. Rangers of the New Republic. Okay. Set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, this new live action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will intersect with future stories and culminate into a cinematic story event. Okay, so Rangers. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is the Cara Dune thing, you know, because they were talking about giving her a show for a while or having a spin-off. Maybe this is that. Maybe she joins. Maybe this is her like joining the Republic, the New Republic, and being more active with Trapper Wolf and that other pilot. I forget his name, who gave her like the medal. And in that last episode, a few episodes ago, The Mandalorian. So this is interesting. It's very vague. I mean, New Republic, Rangers of the New Republic. That's very vague, but I'm interested to see what that is. And then next down here we have Lando Calrissian. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You know what this means? You guys know what this means? A Lando Calrissian show. You know what this really means? It means I get more freaking capes. I get more capes, more costumes. My hair has to stay forever big. I have to keep my mustache, because whatever they're gonna do, best believe I'm gonna be up there, like, you know, doing my Lando thing. But anyway, let's read this. Everyone's favorite scoundrel, Lando Calrissian, will return in a brand new event for the Disney Plus. For series for Disney Plus. Justin Simeon, Simeon, creator of the critically acclaimed Dear White People and a huge Star fan, is developing the story. You know, yes. You know what? My one gripe with Solo was like, I felt like, and I'm gonna be honest, is I felt they kind of underused Lando, and then he wasn't in the film for that long, and they just, you know, he left, and that was it. I would have hoped they would have done more with him, and that was a lot of people's like thing about Solo was, you know, they loved Lando. Lando was like, everybody, a lot of people said Lando made that movie for them, so you would think they would have gave him more. And then they also signed on, like, you know, Alden Ehrenreich and the rest of the cast for more movies or whatever, to which, you know, for Solo 2, or if we ever got that, but obviously we're not. So I feel like this is like a virtual, you know, sequel to that, just on the smaller screen in a sense. Maybe we'll get the final conclusion to the Kira Darth Maul story and see, you know, with this, and, you know, Han Solo going to Tatooine to work for Jabba, or this big time gangster, you know, who we all know as Jabba. I'm definitely happy to see this. It sucks though, because like if it's after Solo, a Star Wars story, then he doesn't have the Millennium Falcon anymore. And I loved his version of the Millennium Falcon. It just being so clean and, you know, sleek, and his banter with L3, like, we're not gonna get that. Anything after that, it would obviously be Lobot. Him and Lobot doing whatever. There's a comic book series. There was a Marvel comic series after they switched over with Lando and Lobot. Actually breaking into oddly enough one of the Emperor's starships, and stealing like his art, aka Sith artifacts, which they didn't know. So maybe it might be something like that. Maybe it might be another heist movie. But we'll see. But I'm excited for Lando. Definitely excited for Lando. Star Wars Andor, the Cassian Andor series. A tense, nail-biting spy thriller directed by Tony Gilroy is set to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022. Diego Luna, reprising his role as rebel spy Cassian Andor from Rogue One, will join a fantastic new cast including Stellan Skarsgård. Oh, another one of the Skarsgårds. Okay, Adrian Arjona. I don't know how to. Hopefully I said it right. Fiona Shaw, Denise Gao, Kyle Soler, and Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. Okay, so she's back as Mon Mothma. Okay. Production kicked off 3 weeks ago in London. Finally some word on that. And there's a sizzle reel, but we're going to talk about that later. Yes, definitely excited for this because it's in one of my favorite Star Wars eras, like right, after Revenge of the Sith, but before A New Hope. That whole dark period, and I'm happy they're touching more on that with this. And well, obviously, we know where his story ends up, but it's nice to see how he got there. Okay, and next down here we have the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? Leslie Headland, Emmy Award-nominated creator of the mind-bending series The Russian Dolls, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with the Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take audiences into a galaxy of shadow and secrets and embodying shadow secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic. Remember specifically when they first talked about the High Republic that they weren't gonna do any TV shows or anything about it. It was just supposed to be kind of like a book and comic book kind of thing. But I'll take it. These are our first steps to getting Old Republic content, and TV shows, movies, anything. I want to see an Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic movie, book, anything. I just want to see Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Darth Malgus, all those old Sith, Bastila, like old Jedi. Like, I want to see that era on film or something, sometime soon, because that's so much, unexplored stuff, especially with Tar Vizsla, like, first Mandalorian Jedi, like, so much stuff they have to do right there that get pulled, but they're just not for whatever reason. But it's eventuality. It'll happen. It'll get there. But so I think maybe this is going to be about, obviously, maybe this is about like the Sith, like, in the background during the High Republic. They had been at least, hiding from the Jedi for like 1,000 years or so. So this is probably that. Maybe. We'll see. And then we come to Star Wars The Bad Batch. And you know what? Every time I see The Bad Batch, out of the corner of my eye, just the logo, it looks like Star Wars The Bad, like, replaced the A with an I. The Bad Batch. Basically Star Wars The A-Team. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy. In the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars, members of Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possess a singular, exceptional skill which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone War era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find a new purpose. That's interesting. Yeah, you know what? Like, I've always wondered what happened to all the clones, like, after, Order 66. Obviously, they're still in use for a while before everything switches over and becomes more Empire-esque with stormtroopers and everything, and normal people instead of clones. So, it's interesting to see what happens with these guys. And then next we have Star Wars Visions. That logo looks very Avatar, like very Pandora Avatar. Not the cartoons, I'm talking about the movies. Presenting all new creative takes on the galaxy far, far away, Star Wars Visions will be a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lenses of the world's best anime creators. So it's gonna be anime. This is cool. And the anthology collection will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering a fresh and diverse cultural perspective to Star Wars. Yes. Like, this one I'm really excited for. If it's anything like the Star Wars shorts on Star Wars Kids, like the Galaxy of Adventures, to a lesser extent, the other series that they had, a name escapes me, but there was another series, this one right here. Star Wars and anime go hand in hand. Like, there was that Like some guys did that anime short, that Imperial anime short, a few years ago, which like blew everybody's minds and which was like amazing looking. So after that, that probably kind of got the wheels turning for, you know, Disney and Lucasfilm to be like, you know what, like people like that, maybe we should do something like that. So it's cool to see, you know, Star Wars on like a bunch of different fronts. You got, you know, the movies, the TV shows, the live action TV shows, you got the animated like 3D like Clone Wars and Rebels, and to a lesser extent Resistance, and you know, stuff on YouTube, the Galaxy of Adventures. I wonder what animation companies are going to use for this. I just wonder what they're going to use for this, or who they're going to use. So nothing more about that, but you know, hopefully we'll get some more stuff soon. And Star Wars, a Droid Story. A Droid Story. Interesting. Okay, let's see what this is about. As Lucasfilm continues to develop new stories, the intersection of animation and visual effects offers new opportunities to explore. Lucasfilm Animation will be teaming up with Lucasfilm's visual effects team, Industrial Light and Magic, to develop a special Star Wars adventure for Disney Plus, a Droid Story. This epic journey will introduce us to a new hero guided by legendary duo R2-D2 and C-3PO. Okay, so this is basically like droids, like Star Wars droids. I don't know if you guys are old enough. Some of you guys probably weren't. Some of you guys probably are. Remember the 1980s droid, Star Wars droid TV show? There was a droid TV show and there was an Ewok TV show. So maybe this is kind of like that. And they even had their own comic books too. I had some of the comic books, but where it was just R2 and C-3PO going on different adventures, introduce us to a new hero guided by love. So I wonder if this new hero is like a person or whatever, or just another droid that they're introducing. And I wonder what era it's gonna be in. So definitely stay tuned for that. Other Lucasfilm properties. Lucasfilm is in pre-production on the next installment of the Indiana Jones franchise. Yes, finally some information on this. At the helm is James Mangold, director of the Academy Award-winning Ford vs. Ferrari, and Indy himself, Harrison Ford, will be back to continue his iconic character's journey. Indy will begin shooting late spring of 2021 and arrive in 2022. Yes, finally. This is one I've been waiting for a long time. Like, it's been put off for so many years, and then, you know, Steven Spielberg was supposed to write and direct it, and then he changed his mind. He didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. But James Mangold, I am happy. I am good with him taking helm of this, especially after what he did with Logan. That movie was beautiful, and if he can bring any of that to Indiana Jones, that movie is going to be amazing. And yeah, because the last one we got, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, was kind of a huge letdown. I mean, there's parts of that movie that are actually really good, but you know, it's just nothing. It just didn't have the same magic and feel as the originals. So excited to see what happens with that. And next we have freaking Willow. Wow, Willow's getting some love finally. Willow, coming to Disney Plus, will be set decades after Ron Howard's 1988 film, continuing the spirit and adventures and heroics and humor of the original film. Warwick Davis will return in the role of the great sorcerer Willow Ufgood, with John Chu directing of the groundbreaking Crazy Rich Asians, directing the pilot. Willow begins shooting next March in Wales and will debut on Disney Plus in 2022. That's gonna be a good one. You know, a lot of people don't really give Willow credit. That was a good movie, especially following up with Star Wars. George Lucas wrote and I think produced it, and then Ron Howard directed it. They're really good friends ever since American Graffiti. But Willow was a good movie, and then so it had Warwick Davis as the main title character, and a lot of the other little people in that movie were actually the Ewoks. A lot of the same cast were the Ewoks that were in Return of the Jedi they used for this. Val Kilmer was pretty good in that. That was one of my favorite roles that Val Kilmer actually ever did. It was probably it was like one of his first roles. I feel like, if I remember. But yeah, that was a good movie. Willow was definitely a good one. So I'm interested to see where they take that, especially on the smaller screen. And this is gonna be set decades later. So I wonder if it's gonna be Willow as the main character, or if he's gonna be kind of like that older Luke Skywalker type where he has to teach somebody else about the magic and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's where that movie's gonna go. And then last part, finally, Lucasfilm catalog is expanding further with a story that will introduce a new hero and explore an original story that feels perfectly paired with Lucasfilm storytelling. Tomi Adeyemi's New York best-selling novel Children of Blood and Bone. This story will center around a young African girl's heart-racing quest to restore magic to her forsaken people, the Magi. Lucasfilm will partner with 20th Century Fox Studios on this coming-of-age adventure story. Okay, so the last few of these are non-Star Wars. You got Indy, Willow, and then this Children of Blood and Bone, which might be interesting. Like this is a lot of info to kind of take in, and this isn't even the Marvel stuff just yet. This kind of reminds me of DC's drop during the summer when they dropped like all the games and all the movies that were coming through. We're probably gonna get all this information during Star Wars Celebration a few months ago. I would have hoped to have gotten this like then, so it would have kind of given us a little bit more context of what was happening, especially with things like happening with the Mandalorian. But you know, it's okay. I understand why they didn't, especially with the whole Ahsoka thing, because they weren't really talking about Ahsoka. You know, they didn't really want to say that she was in the TV show at the time, in the Mandalorian. But anyway, I'm excited for this, man. Especially so far, my excitement level is like the top of my list is like ObiWan, the ObiWan show, Ahsoka, Rogue One, and then Lando. Like those are the tops of what I'm like really excited for with all this news that's dropping. I'm gonna have more to say about this, and stay tuned because I'm gonna be doing reactions to the sizzle reels coming up. So thank you guys for watching this with me, and take care till the next one. May the force be with you. Bye.